So let's be real clear then on what he is facing at this moment. And the charges are concealing a death, obstruction of justice, possession of stolen property, felony larceny. Noticeably absent, murder. Noticeably absent, manslaughter. Noticeably absent, anything to do with this little girl's actual untimely death. So I think we can all stand by and wait for this one. But what's also noticeably absent is assault charges or endangering children. And if you believe what CPS filed and delivered to not only Mariah's mom, that would be his girlfriend whom he was living with those children, but also Mariah's dad, there are some pretty unbelievable allegations of what happened to these children in that trailer, and the allegations pertain to him. I want to read, if I can, just a snippet of the CPS allegations against this man. Apparently, Mariah's two brothers said, and we can't say their names, but we'll just call them the juveniles, they have disclosed inappropriate discipline by Mr. Kimry, including Mr. Kimry hitting both juveniles with a belt and Mr. Kimry hitting the juvenile, redacted, in the face on November 26th. Let's be clear, that's the date this little girl went missing. And on that date, it caused the juvenile's nose to bleed. The respondent mother failed to protect the juveniles from discipline from Mr. Kimry. The filing goes on, in fact, to talk a little bit more about Mr. Kimry and what he'd been up to in that trailer. The CPS filing reads, the respondent's mother is aware that Mr. Kimry abuses substances, including pot and heroin, and yeah, you guessed it, the big one at the bottom, methamphetamine. Amanda, real quickly, when do we expect to hear or see any kinds of charges pertaining to that stuff? And then, of course, the even bigger issue, murder or manslaughter.
I wish I had an answer for that at this time. I know that the autopsy, the preliminary autopsy, was done this morning, and the district attorney mentioned at the press conference on Saturday night late in Pender County that he was waiting for the autopsy results before any further pending charges were coming. So it's possible that additional charges would come against either Kimry or additional persons this week, and that's what we're all on the lookout for right now.
I would say if you're a betting man, you can bet on that. Don't go anywhere, Amanda. I want to bring in CNN senior law enforcement analyst and former FBI Assistant Director Tom Fuentes, who's live with me from Fairfax, Virginia. Tom, thanks for being here. You know, 5 felonies. He's been charged with 5 felonies, and everybody's wondering why one of them doesn't pertain to murder or manslaughter or something of the like. Any idea?
Well, I think, Ashley, that they want to be very sure when they bring that charge and have the most evidence, and probably a big part of that is waiting for the autopsy, which is going to disclose the cause of death, which will be very important in the prosecution of Kimry. But, you know, we know from the beginning that the police were very suspicious of either Kimry or the mother because they were telling the neighbors to not worry, that the case was, I think as they put it, in focus, and that whoever killed or kidnapped Mariah at that time, and at that time they only knew that she was missing, but whoever caused her to go missing didn't pose a threat to the general community. Well, how could they say that? I mean, they already had a very good indication that this was going to come down to somebody that lived in that trailer that helped cause her to disappear.